A trick that I like to use is to ask who questions, what questions, why questions very pointedly to focus on a specific topic. Hi, my name is Jenkins, and I'm the Executive Director of Perceptions Theater, and I'm also the writer of Black Magic. And today I'm going to be telling you a little bit more in depth how I write my plays. First, start with a glass of wine. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. First, I think about the who, what, when, where, and why of my plays. The who, what, when, where, and why are very important because it lets us know who the story is about, why that story is important, when it takes place, what it could possibly be about, everything that you need to know about the universe surrounding the play itself. So, first thing I like to kind of flesh out for me is my main character. And I like to apply those questions to my main character. I think of who they are as a person, what are some things they like to do, why their story needs to be told, and things like that. And that kind of helps us to build up that character and therefore build up how the world the character lives in responds to said character. For instance, just like the world we live in today, the way an audience reacts to me, a Black woman, will be different than how the audience would react to someone of another color or background. And that's important for our characters as well, because that's what plays are. They mimic real life, and oftentimes they can represent the things that we go through. So when you're making your characters, it's important to think about who they are as individuals. And that's when you also dive deeper into your characters and get to know more about them. What do they like? What are their favorite colors? What are their favorite smells? Why do they like these things? These are all things that we need to know to flesh them out. When is very important because you need to know what's the social climate in your play's universe. Let me put it like that. What is the social climate in your play's universe? What's going on in their world today? For instance, a favorite play of mine would be Smart People by Lydia Diamond. And it specifically is a period play. And what makes it a period play and not just a standard play that could be put into today's times is that it specifically takes place during the 2008 election. That timestamp, that indication of when, allows us a window into what the characters are experiencing. What's the political climate surrounding a new election with the first ever Black president? That's different. That's not the same as, being in a post-Trump world, being in a pre-Trump world, if that makes sense. Timestamps, the when is just as important as the character. The when is just as important as the who in that aspect. The what of your play is very important. What are we doing? What are we talking about? What is this play about? Why is this play about that thing? What's happening to who? Who has the power? Personally, as a Black woman, when I write, I tend to write my main characters in a way in which they support the background that they're modeled after. Black Magic, for instance, was written for people like the main character so that they can experience life and connect with that character. You see, Sasha, the main character, grew up as a Black woman and has had run-ins with discrimination because of that, and that changes the way she reacts to other people in her world. Now, if Sasha were a woman of a different nationality, maybe she'd react differently to that. However, in this story, Sasha is our who, she is our character, but she's not the who with the power she feels like in her life. And what does that look like? When you have a character who's powerless and someone who has that power, what are their wants? What are their needs? What are their desires? Who is this person? These questions may seem very basic, but you end up fleshing out your world while doing so. As soon as you pose the question of who has the power, why don't they want to share, already you've got something deep and political to dig into. Something so small, something as simple as asking about the world around you can create that story. They're not the only types of questions that matter, though they can be very beneficial. And when we write, we're writing to right the wrongs, we're writing to solve these problems, and sometimes these problems never get solved, but we can talk about them. We can have thoughtful discussions because we can ask these questions, we can want to know more and strive to know more about each other as well as our characters. I hope you take the things that I'm saying and you apply them. I hope they help. I hope that you all find these questions and you write to your heart's content. In times like these, it helps for us to also look into ourselves and think, how are we going to get through this? What are we going to do? Why are things the way they are? And though we can't dwell on those things, we can think of ways to make it through this together. And that's what I do with my writing. And I hope that I can help you do that as well. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking my questions and my thoughts to consideration. Good luck and happy writing. And we at Perceptions Theater will see you very, very soon. Thank you.